The majority of people have probably 50% or more of their total net worth in their primary home, which I, again, don't think is best practice, because best practice for at least people with 800,000 net worth and above, you should be much more diversified than that. The reason is because a lot of things could happen to your primary, and it's not going to look pretty when so much of your wealth is concentrated in one asset or, liability, depending on how you look at a primary. A lot of the primary home residences end up becoming more of a liability for people, creating this house poor situation where people literally are sucking all of their money, all of their post-tax income into feeding the beast that has become their primary home. And this is happening all across America because this dogma of you must own where you live, you must own where you live. This is really killing a lot of people's finances. This old school boomer thinking, which is you can't pay a single cent in rent. You've got to own. But at what cost, people? At what cost? I really live by what I preach. Guess how much of my net worth, percentage wise, is in my primary? Obviously, I own a primary, and I only owned it when I was 35 years old after I gave birth to my baby. 36 years old, actually. And the reason why we got a primary is because it made sense. It made sense financially for so many of us. It's a 4-bedroom, right? So many of us, it actually makes sense in that scenario to get a primary. But even so, I'm not prepaying my mortgage. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that my percentage is less than 5%. Less than 5% of my net worth is in my home equity in my primary home. The rest of my net worth, 95% of my net worth, a certain small percentage, less than 10%, is in cash. The rest, a lot of it, is in liquid assets like stocks, crypto. That's very liquid. Then I also have non-liquid assets such as my IRA, my, retirement stuff. I don't work for an employer, so I don't have a 401k anymore. Now I have an IRA. And then also my investment real estate, right? So that's not very liquid. So that's kind of my situation. I have a lot of money working for me. 95% of my workforce in my money, remember I told you money's like having soldiers? 95% of my soldiers are out there hustling for me. They're out there making money for me. Every time Bitcoin hits a new high, my income is increasing, right? And so this is why you don't want to suck up all of your money into your primary, because your primary, it's only going to grow at the rate the local market grows. Other assets can grow at a much faster rate. Why not diversify? People, again, if your net worth is really $500,000 or above, you need to start thinking about this stuff, because now your money starts really mattering.